Marcus. See our good friends here too.
I'm waiting to see what you're brought to.
You know the problem too that she talks too much. Yeah. The other day we were talking, she had so much English.
I educate, not talk.
You see what I mean? I said, you know what?
And for the record, Gaetano is educating.
Of course, that's why I'm here.
All the time.
That's why I'm here.
And he thinks he knows he's raw in the head.
Anyway, so Turu was telling me about perceptions. The conversation was about, was it perceptions?
Yes, perceptions, like our belief systems. We're arguing about something.
So
you are having an argument with Gaetano?
Yes.
Or you were talking, he was just saying no. You know that's how Gaetano argues.
There's that.
Yeah, he just says no.
Informing and empowering.
Okay, inform us about this perception. I wanted you to understand this because it was quite interesting.
I want to hear this.
Tell me what I was trying to tell him was that what we think of the world, our perception of the world, everybody thinks that what they think of the world is how it objectively is. Mm-hmm. But how Gaetano sees the world is not how it objectively is. It's just how Gaetano sees the world.
You grow up believing that the things that you were taught by your parents are the things you know. But life...
Not consciously.
Of course.
Mostly
subconsciously, yes. Yeah. But life, you go... Then I go to high school, then I meet Gaetano, who has another way of thinking. Then I'm like, hey, by the way, what my parents taught me, and assuming it was a religious way of thinking. In other words, the Bible tells you, don't have sex before marriage, don't blah, 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 don't do all of that stuff.
Which you all broke, which you all...
Speak for yourself, guys.
I'm not in your game. And then you meet a Gaetano who has been having sex since he was 12, and then you start... Even you're like, by the way, it's possible to do this stuff.
Yes.
No. So now then you start living that life.
But you have a consciousness that it's wrong because of
hard
wiring.
Fair enough. However, when you realize that it being wrong is not entirely life-threatening, I have still continued to live my life.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the end of the world. And then, now, when you have children, having broken those norms that you were taught.
Yeah.
What are you then going to teach your children about the conversation of your perception of the world?
Confusion.
Now, no. On contrary, because for you now, you have the training of right.
Right.
Again, and I put right in quotes because this person now believes that right is really relative. Because I have done it my way. I am now a married man. I am successful. I have children. What am I now telling my children? What I'm telling them is, my guy, do you.
And I think right there...
Are you telling them to do whoever they are?
To a certain extent, but you will not tell them what your parents taught you. Because you broke those norms.
You see,
and you did not become a failure.
Ingia, now it's your turn. Answer. There you have the argument.
You know what I'm saying?
It's contendable what you're saying.
Conti?
Contendable. Seriously. What our parents teach us. Okay, so first of all, behavior is learned between the ages of 0 to 7. Most of it, what our learning, understanding of the world, who we are as people, how the world works around us, we mostly learn between the ages of 0 to 7.
Who's learning anything, Tura, at the age of 0?
Okay, if you want to dispute this empirical data that has been researched over years, that's a different...
But today you've learned 3 words in 1 minute.
That's a different conversation. I will send you the journals to prove this.
Okay, contendable.
You will meet a guy at 12 in boarding school and you learn certain things from him. But you're hardwired a certain way already, right? And that hardwiring is not very conscious. Right? Maybe your parents raised you as a Christian, right? So you're not there in school like, no, for me I was raised as a Christian, therefore I will not sin. But your perception on sin, it's from there, right? Now let's say, for example, sex that you are talking about, right? Yes, you'll have sex. Maybe you'll have sex, maybe because you're surrounded, maybe because you're horny, maybe because you're surrounded by people doing it, maybe because you're, whatever your reasons are. but your perception of it affects you in a certain way, right? Why do many guys why is a woman's body count a big deal? If you're not tied into the notion that, why do most guys want to find virgins? What's the big deal about a virgin?
Well, the virgin.
Right? Why are women seen as bayai for having so much sex, right? Maybe it's because of your hardwiring as a child that you're not very conscious of, that you see that person as more pure or cleaner.
Okay. Tura,
right?
you've said many things.
But you see, madam, no. Let's be guided here. Let us be guided. The purity of human beings is not privy to gender.
Now you've gone into gender things.
No, my point is.
Repeat that point, please.
Yeah.
I want you to be very clear on this.
You see, the body count of women vis-a-vis men is related to purity. You said that. I didn't. Okay?
As an assumption. This is all anecdotal.
Again, yes, they're not
As
facts.
an assumption, as a perception.
As a perception. Okay? But I'm saying that is not gender sensitive.
Of course it's gender sensitive.
No, it isn't.
Really? Are men affected by their body count in relationships?
No, the women do. The women get affected by a man's body count, don't they?
Guys.
No,
No.
amongst each other.
Guys.
No.
Come on.
But when a guy says, I have been with 950 women, you'll be like, you are my guy now. Or you're going to go to the Daro, you're going to.
Or your guy 1,900. Or your guy
Of course
1,900, you want.
It's not gender sensitive to the recipient. Yes, it's not gender sensitive to the recipient of the
The
information.
problem with you woke people is that you just like that whole gender equality. Come on, there is stark gender differences. We are wired differently.
I agree
Women
with
are
you.
more neurotic than men are. Men are
my
more
point is-
and less agreeable than women.
When you say the word neurotic
Siganye
and that we're
baby.
less
What am-
agreeable,
what am-
you are saying that we are lesser than you?
Jesus. Take a beer. Take a sip.
What I'm disagreeing with you on is the conversation of purity to the recipient of that information.
We're talking about perception.
And I don't want us to stick to only that one point.
Yes.
I want us to
Yeah.
think holistically, Marcus.
Yes.
Holistically.
Yes.
Yes.
And what I'm trying to tell you is that everything we receive as a person getting that information, you take it based on, like you said, your upbringing, blah, 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 how you've grown up, blah, 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 blah. Now, the problem we have with it is that we then take that information and box it. Okay, so Tura, I want to date Tura, but Tura grew up as a bishop's daughter. Yeah, that's gonna
Your
be.
perception of bishop's daughters
Is that yeah?
they can't accept you with your alcohol
With my booze.
and 197 body counts.
No, 900 and something.
Bad.
And therefore, and please note, I don't know what Tura will say at that point.
Right.
But my perception of her, based on what I know of her, I put her in a box.
And so my point was that your perception of the world is not the objective truth. It is just your personal perception, right? A lot of people, especially men due to male privilege, think that their perception of the world is how the world is.
Tura, you're
Right?
becoming
But you see,
Yes, it's
You're becoming
but you
feminist.
see, totally. But, and there's nothing wrong with being
And
a
there's
feminist.
nothing wrong with that.
By
Even me, I'm a feminist. I believe women should get their rights. I am 100% for it.
You see, we all walk around with ideas in our head that were given to us by our parents, by our peers, by our friends, and just by the way the world is.
Right.
All right? As a man, I'm supposed to do A, B, C, D. As a woman, I'm supposed to do A, B, C, D. But like you said, provided?
Provide and protect nature.
Exactly.
Generally speaking, in the African
Exactly. Then you grow up and the world throws you a curveball. The world throws you the world in its real essence.
Right, yeah.
And you adapt and change accordingly. But it is important, I think, to have those perceptions as you grow up to guide you. Maybe I'm wrong. Should it just be a blank canvas and you figure it out from the start? No, somebody has to kind of point you in a certain direction.
I agree.
Do you know what I mean?
There should be, like you said, like I was saying earlier, there should be a standard measure. And the standard measure, my question, of course, is the question to the world is, who creates that standard measure? Who created it?
There you go.
Where is it found? Is it the Bible?
Well, that's
is it
why
religion?
things
Is
like
it?
religion come in and are easy to follow because people want those moral cues. People want something to follow and to believe in. They want a standard to be drawn, right? Because we are just not really raised to be our authentic selves. We are just the vibrations of our parents and our whatever.
But can you imagine if the human race was left to be the way they operate? You would be America.
Let me tell you something. Without even
Your perception. You're afraid of yourself. Yeah.
and to be very honest with you, without getting too, it touches a nerve. It almost touches the anus of a leopard. But you have to remember that even, for example, when you look at the Bible, it shapes perceptions.
Right.
The Bible or the Quran or whichever religious faith you are is going to give you perceptions on how to do certain things. And in a way, it's also control. Some perceptions are given to you or indoctrinated upon you to be able to control you.
And if the direction that Bible or that Quran is going is not the direction of your hardwiring, it's that much harder for you to go with it.
True story.
The
True
books
story.
that pick you, that interest you, for example, are books. If you're raised and your father taught you that Gaetano, as a man, if you want to make it in this world, right? Curveballs in life hit you, right? Your hardwiring is that as a man, what I need to do is to make money, period. Right? You may think that you're unlearning and learning and whatever, but you're just getting information and data that just reinforces your belief system
Absolutely.
that is already sitting
Absolutely.
there.
Absolutely.
So actually, unlearn takes a whole lot of humility to do that, and courage, really.
And courage as well.
But that part, I'm sorry, as a man, you have to make money. You see, in the Bible, in the
I'm not
Quran,
disputing it.
everywhere
I'm
you
not
go, as a man, you have
disputing
to
it.
make money.
I'm not disputing it.
Yeah, please, let's
Let's
it's
tell
not
you.
perception, it's the world. It's to be guided.
You guys
It's
are
not
talking.
up for debate on
Are
that
the
one.
happiest men the ones who have made money?
You see.
Huh?
But there's some unhappy men who have not made money also.
It's true.
The happiest men, the ones who have made money.
Eh.
More money, more problems. However,
I think the root of all evil is actually perception and not money.
Perception is the corruption of the of the mind, the body,
Right.
but not the actual.
The root of all evil, you can find someone is successful, they have the money, they have whatever is perceived to be what humanity requires to be tick, right? In last year, the Miss World of 2021 committed suicide, right? Now imagine, Miss World, you've literally been declared the most beautiful woman on earth. That comes with endorsements of millions of dollars. That comes with, but her perception is not the same as yours of the world.
Right.
That's not what she sees, right?
can I ask you a question? Was that Miss World thin or big?
If I know Miss World, she was thin because again the perception of how beauty is supposed to be standardized is a thin particular height and weight and all of that. Speaking of Miss World, which is a pageant, you know that there is a narrative about plus size women.
Yeah.
It came out recently that November this year, Uganda is going to be hosting Miss Cave 2022.
Big difference between plus size and curvy.
Because most big women, most women with girth.
Why are you making that motion while describing big women?
You know, guy, you're here about it.
Most women, plus size women, come with curves.
Yes.
But what was very interesting for me, I remember when Miss Kavi, when they brought that whole concept of Miss Kavi, Banangi Ugandans, but how can you do that? Because it was the Ministry of Tourism who said, we're going to have a Miss Kavi competition. And, you know, and they said, how can you do that? No, we want you outsiders, people from outside countries to come and see what we have to offer as a country.
You know.
Oh, you are, what's the word? Lowering the standards of our women. You are selling us as if we're what? Guys, we're like, you people, why must you make everything about, oh, it looks, it's beauty in its own way.
I think when you say what we have to offer, it does sound objectifying. But I don't want to take away from the importance that I see of having a beauty pageant that is for curvy women, because sincerely, majority of Africans, I would want to say, in my life experience, are curvy women and not slim, tall models.
So you have no problem,
supermodels.
and we're hosting this event. It's the 5th edition, by the way. Apparently, it's been going on around the world. We are now hosting this, and the retired Speaker of Parliament, Rebecca Kadaga, actually said this is a fantastic thing.
Yeah.
We are recognizing.
She said this after coming from Nyege Nyege or before? After dancing in Nyege Nyege or before? You know, Uganda is the only country that I have seen, and I've traveled quite a bit, that has carved mannequins.
Hey, by the way,
Have you seen our mannequins?
We are the only country that has carved mannequins.
I'm driving.
I love it. I love it.
I'm driving when I say I'm like.
Don't.
You said don't.
Someone else from the airport. That's actually hilarious. So true. So true.
And you see, so you can't run away from it.
Yeah.
It is who
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah.
And the problem is in believing everything Western, you even stop being who you are. If you are generally a curvy person, then you're going to slim yourself because the perception of beauty is.
Look at him. But I also think that it's high time for us, like Africans, honestly, to drive our own narratives. We can't just depend on what Bazungu. Come on, like even beauty standards are defined by Bazungu. Like,
have you?
We don't look the same way. So now we're bleaching our skins. We're wearing. We want to look like Bazungu because the media is telling us. There's a young girl sitting on her bed on TikTok watching beauty pageants, looking at these Bazungu, these thin, tall supermodels, and that's a standard of beauty. You know, which you can never ever achieve.
I can't achieve.
You know?
We are hosting this, but it's not just for Uganda. This is Miss Curvy Africa.
Nice.
So you've got countries from Sudan,
Nice.
you've got countries
Sudan, they're small.
from Nigeria. Sudan.
All of them. They're just
So those ones we're going to beat them. Huh?
Look at his face.
How about South Africa?
They're just like dark black, but
South Africa. How about South Africa?
Calves.
Rwanda is also going to be there. Nigeria. So you got all of these countries coming to Uganda, and I think we've got the edge on them personally. I think this is ours for.
We shall fight. We shall fight with Rwanda, Burundi, but I think we have them.
I think we got it, man.
I think we got it.
Yeah.
It's ours to lose.
Is it still objectifying women?
But I don't think that in any way we should underestimate the actual power of media going out of its way to show that women of like beauty. This is the definition of beauty.
Yes,
Here it is. Watch it. Pay 100K and come and see the definition of beauty
It's
over
a
here.
real issue.
Exactly. Yes.
Check this out.
Yes.
It is this Miss Curvy is Africa is held on a rotational basis across the African continent. It's going to be the 5th edition, and it will be organized under the theme "Celebrating the Beauty of African Women," with the main aim of turning their plights into pride.
I want you to say read what speaker said.
The former Speaker of Parliament, she said, "We always thought that small women are the most beautiful. We accepted the small ones to do their things, and so let's embrace the big ones. They are all Ugandans, so they need support. I encourage contestants to be what you are and be who you are as I officially launch the search for Miss Curvy Africa 2022.
Encourage the big ones."
There's something wrong here, but anyway, we'll move. It is mostly positive. It's mostly positive.
So 24 African countries are going to be here.
I'm glad Africans get to define what their beauty standards are. That's all I can say about that. I'm happy about that.
I think we need to generally, away from curves, generally as Africa, we need to shape our own narrative.
Yeah.
Have you heard this? A woman is like a road. the more curves she has, the more dangerous she is.
Big nonsense.
But I may stand to agree. Oh, Kuba.
You know, men, these things of looks and appearances can only be jokes and banter for you because the world does not have extreme opinions about your appearance, right? But women, if I tell you how many clients I have, like especially young women, right? Teenagers, when they're starting to develop, you know, they're starting to be conscious of what they look like and if they're attracting male attention and not. Those ones, if you know how powerful appearance is to those children, if you know the suicidal rates, just from that, because of how
they look and how they're perceived.
Yes, like their little boys in school are telling them they have no bum. They have no, you know, and then what are you going to do as a 12-year-old without a bum?
Can you get?
You blame not only social media. I blame you, Marcus.
But they're animals, and so it's people.
And I blame myself.
Why?
It is us, the older, more understanding, and more so-called, Iluzungu.
Intelligent.
Humans?
No.
Homo sapiens?
No.
Exposed
and more organized.
Literally?
Maintenance in the head. But somehow the maintenance is not there. You get what I'm saying? We're the ones who are letting them down, basically.
You're here drinking beer and making jokes about it.
Yeah, mama. No, educating.
Right. I agree.
Educating. Anyway, here's to the curvy women.
To curvy women.
May you shine.
May you shine. You're not going to enjoy it, you're not going to partake in Torah?
I think there's an age limitation.
I don't think there is
actually. Listen, we have to go, but thank you so much for tuning into the last round. Every week, we are right here at Shisanyama Village. So, just enjoy the show, and you can actually watch it on YouTube.
Subscribe, like, tell a friend, and it's the same one. Last round Uganda, that's what it is on YouTube. Like, tell a friend. On socials, it's last round UG, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
They must click on that bell so that you get an alert.
Then you get alert.
A new episode is out.
First do it.
Data.
Thank you, Tura, for coming on the show.
Yeah.
Until next week, guys.
Yeah. Do drink responsibly.
Yeah. Always drink responsibly. Yeah. And maintain your curves. Don't slim. We know you are dangerous, but we'll manage.
Please work out, exercise, please.
African men love those curves.
African men need to get over themselves. That's what they need to do.
Something to hold on to.
Objectification of women.
No. Hey, but there's a guy who told me, and may his soul rest in peace, is an old intelligent Kenyan man who passed, who told me that I like skinny chicks. I said, why? He said, you see, for us, we like goat meat. And goat meat, the meat around the bone is always the sweetest. Are we going to discuss? Okay, the curvy chick did her job. Her job is. Did you see Madame Kadaga dancing?
I sure did.
She has like 4 left feet.
Hey. Come on.
But she's right, that's like a story.
Woman Kadaga, me, I thought you were hard.
No, but I have to commend her for going in the first place, and she really had a grand time.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
I think she was throwing shade to the Prime Minister.
No, she was supporting her region.
Yeah, but still.
All right. Yes.
But still throwing shade. You say you guys are saying all these things. Those people are here, let me go. I don't know.
Why do you always think women have ulterior motives?
Why?
Why? She was just dancing, supporting her region, having a good time.
Yes.
The end.
She went down, but she come back up.
She did. But I think after that there was an ambulance.
Come on. There was no ambulance. She went to the tent and drank beer.